All right, another hour and another batch of guests. We are back, and we have got a full crew here. Introduce from Hollow Knight. Is it William and Ari?
Yeah,
you got it.
Yep.
Okay, great.
That's us.
With Hollow Knight, I mean that's out.
Yeah,
That happened.
surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering for ages why we were in LA.
Right.
And then the game came out.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Oh,
Great.
okay.
Yeah.
Is that how it works? Just Nintendo handles all of it. You're just like, oh yeah, just take the game.
Yeah, we did a little bit.
Okay.
But
They do the hard part.
Yeah.
no, it's great. We've obviously had to keep it quiet.
Mhm.
So yeah, we've
That's the hard part.
Yeah, that's
That
that's
is
it.
no fun.
But also, it's
go.
Going back to, prior to the Switch's launch, I started hearing, hey, Nintendo's getting serious about indie devs. Nintendo is out there; they're making this stuff happen.
Right.
What's that been like?
We grew up playing NES games, and at the age that we were playing those games, we didn't even know how these things were made. They're just like a magic bloody thing that appears on a screen.
Yeah.
And now, it's really a full circle to go to a point where we understand how they're made, and then we're making them ourselves, and then we're working with the people that were providing those, what were almost like magic experiences when you're a child.
Yeah.
You're clueless about
This is
the process.
You mentioned that obviously, the games don't just materialize on other platforms. What was it like? Hollow Knight's been out on the PC for some time. Bringing it to Switch, what did that entail? Did you find yourself like, was it a lot of work to kind of like, hey, we're used to this PC, it might have a whole lot of power at its disposal, like making it run on the Switch and optimize it. Was there a lot of work involved?
Yeah, there was a bit of work. There's a bit of work involved. Hollow Knight, it was like our first game.
Yeah, so we weren't that used to the PC.
Yeah. So like, even the
problem.
PC wasn't like, oh, this is easy. We worked on the PC version and released it and stuff, and it worked pretty well. And then we spent a bit of time optimizing that, and then when we moved over to getting it ready on the Switch, we obviously the last thing we wanted was for anyone's experience on the Switch to be like less than the best PC experience. So it had to be 60 frames per second. We had to have the loading times like really low, and that did involve kind of going back and like redoing a lot of the game's code, which is kind of my fault because I didn't really know how to code when we started. But yeah, whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, it worked out in the end. And now we have a
Right.
game on PC and on Switch that is actually like a normal person's game, like what other people release.
Yeah, it's because we
and not held together by string.
Yeah, we learned heaps, and everything else we make, we're super keen to keep going, and everything else will be nice.
And, I was gonna say, I imagine like going through the process, maybe you'd kind of know what to plan for. next time out.
For sure. You do this process once.
Yeah.
So that's all, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We knocked all the mistakes off the list, and now it's all good. 100% from now on.
So are you now thinking about like, hey, what's the next thing, or is it still about kind of like, okay, can we maybe bring Hollow Knight to some other spots, or?
We think about all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think like game development is long, right? Especially games like this, big games. You spend 2 years on it. We thought up 10 years of games that we would love to make in 1 year of game development. So we can just keep going, and that's great. And I mean, it's just, what do? We just make stupid characters, draw them on a board, and put them in a world, and then eventually, that's it. This is like 50% of our development process.
I'm going to download Game Maker when I get home.
Yeah.
And this whole thing's going.
Watch out, because it's not that far.
I'll be calling you. I got a thing here, man.
No problem.
Great.
No problem.
Yeah. With Hollow Knight, that's how did you find your process? I mean, kind of first time writing all this other stuff. Were there like sanity checks of just like, we need to get someone in here and just take a look at this and just take a look at this?
We kind of left that as late as we could. We kind of wanted the game to feel as complete as it could before we got other people to play it.
Yeah, that's true.
That felt pretty important.
Yeah, we only get like one impression from each of these people.
Sure.
So especially the close people that are going to end up testing it. And we just want to think, in the two of us, we think this is exactly the game we want. Like, this is the game we want to play.
Right.
Then we give it to these people and they say, hell no. You got to fix this and this and this. But at least we're close. And at least they can see our intent.
Yeah. And it's not like, not many people had even played the game to completion when we released. It was like,
5, 6.
5, 6, something.
maybe. So yeah, it's pretty important that that those few people like were going into something like that was pretty much the game.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Did any of them come back with any pieces of feedback where you're just like, absolutely not. You're violating our whole vision. Just get out of my face. I can't even. I don't even want to hear what you're saying. It's such a bad idea.
It's generally pretty
They
good.
were pretty good. One guy got super stressed because this is a game about getting lost.
Yep.
Like that's inherently the idea. It's like a classic, like Metroid style. And he was so stressed, and he was freaking out. And I was like, William, is this a problem? What are we doing? Anyway, then eventually I asked him like, oh, what do you think of these other games? Do you like Mega Man? Do you like Metroid?
Shovel Knight?
Do you like Shovel Knight? And he was like, oh, no, I don't like any of those games. Nah, they're all terrible. And then I was like, whew, all right, we're good. We're good.
There's your
Just
answer.
it.
Yeah.
And release.
Oh, great. Yeah. Great. Thanks so much for coming out, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you
Cheers.
very much.
Cheers.